Trimedika is a Belfast-based business which does handheld, non-touch thermometers. So it's a bit Star Trek-y. You point it at someone's head and you press a button and it takes your temperature without actually touching a patient.
Most thermometers used in hospitals use consumables, and that costs them a lot of money. So our product is completely consumable free, non-touch, and can provide many benefits. You simply take the device, switch it on, point it at the forehead, and you get the result. Green is good and it means it's in the normal range, and it turns red if it's outside the normal range.
Roisin and Julie came into Entrepreneurial Spark and had been midway through their investment journey. So they were looking for £150,000. They've now secured that money.
Listening to your gut is very, very important, and there was one or two offers that looked like they might shape up, but in retrospect wouldn't have been very healthy for us at all. So we were really happy with the balance that we got in the end. You know, it's like Christmas arriving. You know, we have worked really long and in a very concentrated way to get everything to line up to this point. And it just now frees us up to push the button on the really important key things that will accelerate us to market.
When you've got an entrepreneur who really has got themselves focused and is doing everything right, part of the other side of what we do is try and match them up with the right people. Contacts were always a thing of mine, and being able to match businesses up with the right people is always great to be able to do. So Roisin and Julie are very quick to ask for help and very quick to ask for, can you put us in front of this person or that person as a contact? And it's been remarkably great as a business to be able to do that with them.
Those questions that maybe are in the back of your mind and you're not sure how to ask them or who to ask, just get up there and ask it. You know, in our experience, our enabler has opened a lot of doors for us, and they can feed into that whole big network within the bank, whether it's Ulster Bank or RBS. So it's networks within networks, and your enabler is your conduit into that. So in my experience, you ask anything and they'll get a way in somewhere for you.
So within a year, we have gone from an idea to a product sat in front of us, and from our targets, half of our first year's pre-sold before we even get to market. So that's a really good feeling, and it feels like a big achievement to do it in such a short space of time. Our personal goal is to hit over the million mark for the first year. We think with the numbers and the tenders that are out there, we could surpass that. We want after 3 years to hit the 20 million mark.
It's not a surprise to see Roisin and Julie having an exit strategy. They've been quite focused from that from day one in where they are, where they want to get to, and they're going at the pace they need to be going to get to that point. They're probably want to be a couple of years ahead of where most entrepreneurs would be in their situation, but they're doing so much work and putting so much effort into it that I really believe that in 3 years Julie and Roisin will be sitting there having sold their business for 20 million.
Because the sort of work-life thing has to be a balance.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in here 7 o'clock each night is not a big thing for us, and we're working at it on the weekends because we're working with suppliers who are outside our time zones.
I have 4 children and they're all living at home right now, even though 2 of them are 25 and 27. So actually coming in here is great for a break. So actually I think what's happening now is that they're getting much more self-sufficient, and they haven't starved yet. So
I have 2 children left living at home, 16 and 13, so you know it can be a bit of a challenge, but at the same time, you know, they're supportive of what I'm doing, and they are very independent. But it is, you know, it is tough at times.
We're just discussing it today in terms of cutting corners at home and maybe just not having everything perfect. So we just have to leave the dust, leave the washing. This is much more fun anyway.